In this week's episode, we chatted about dildos and Coatbridge, the problem with 75 soft, and how we have the answers to fix the nation. Welcome to episode...
Quickly check.
One of the episodes...
Almost 70.
Almost 70. Fucking excited. How are we, boys?
Good, brother.
I'm good. How's you?
Good.
I'm good. I'm not
Aye.
stressed.
No?
No. See,
You seem stressed.
all of the roadworks in Scotland...
Fuck, don't.
Mate, you were chatting about this yesterday.
Aye,
All of the roadworks in Scotland were like targeted on Willigland Main Street this morning. Fuck me, man. Ridiculous.
Mate, that's why I went on my rant yesterday.
There were
Right?
people giving you like...
Did you go on a rant yesterday?
So for context, for people that didn't maybe see what I was rambling about on Instagram, is that, and everybody will be aware of this in Glasgow, that there's just roadworks everywhere, right? All everywhere, all at once, and then so I'm moaning about it, being like, why is there not some sort of fucking planning committee scheduling this out evenly across the course of the year?
Nobody talks to each other.
In opposite areas, so like instead of them closing a roundabout and a main road and turning something into a single track lane, all at the main entry points of East Coatbridge, like let's spread that shit out across the
Have you
year.
seen what's happening? They're shutting Busby Road.
Busby Road, I
So
know.
see, like with the train,
Aye.
they're redoing the.
Oh, that bit.
I can't remember what it's called.
I know what you're talking
You know what I'm talking about?
The
how
railway
you
line.
How are you, that's it. They're redoing the bridge.
Aye.
How you meant to get into EK? Question. How's
For
that
the
right
other
now?
side. It's so I was moaning about it and I was like, why don't they just all get together? And then everybody's in my DMs. It's their budget. It's down to their year ends, so like their budget, and then they don't get enough to spend the next year if they don't spend it all. It's like, I understand all of that. Why is that an excuse? Why can't they like? It really sounds like somebody's job. Do you know what I mean? To be
Yeah.
like, right, here's the pot of money. Here's a list of work that it needs to be done. Highest priority, lowest priority, side pot for emergencies, for bridge breaks. Am I mad?
No.
No?
And this is what I was saying, right?
That's science.
That's and I'm like, I tell people to do burpees for a living. I'm not that smart, right? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, right? But I feel like a smart person should be able to figure that out. No, in fact, an idiot should be able to figure that out, right? It doesn't seem that difficult. Yeah, they're like, oh, but if they don't spend it all, then they don't get as much next year. Maybe they don't need as much. Maybe they don't need as much money.
Just don't
like,
spend it.
see that leftover money? Why don't you put it into something else, like build a wee sports club,
Fixing the roads.
fix
We need
fix.
more outdoor gyms in Scotland.
Yeah,
Because that's a great
Gazelles
way to spend
banging.
public funding.
outdoor this. So it kind of led me down a bit of a rabbit hole last night, and like all of yesterday and all of last night of like, I feel like in everybody's line of work, right? Everybody that works jobs like this sort of like middle management, or even in fact even higher than that, most people in a position of power seem incredibly incapable of really doing a job correctly. Like
100%.
everybody. So picture like back in the old Pure Gym days. Think about the like maybe like the managers or the people who were like the area managers, the guys that would come in, and then you're looking at them like, what the fuck? What are you on? And I felt like in every job I've ever had, maybe bar one, like when you look at that higher level and or the people even above that, you're like, yous are all fucking idiots.
Were you working at Pure Gym when Andy was the manager?
Yeah.
So basically we had...
I feel you spoke about him early days in the podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
Sound great
Sound
guy.
as fuck, by the way. Sound as
If you're
fuck.
listening, shout out.
Never trained a day in his life.
No, he was
Genuinely?
He was
He's
a
a GM.
He was never
of a
trained
gym.
in
He
his
was a Butlins manager.
Aye.
Right, so Pure Gym, East Coatbridge, I went through like fucking honours of managers at some point. I wonder why, question mark. But then we eventually got this guy Andy in, and he just didn't give a fuck.
No.
He was basically just he would say, what do you want to do? He'd be like, okay, go do that.
Aye.
Like,
He was now he's there for the title member, so his
yeah, so he
full
wanted
thing
the
was
GM.
no, he wanted the regional manager of Butlins. He wasn't a manager in Butlins. The only way you
Right,
could
yeah.
get it is if he became a manager first, then go.
Aye, he's
Just
climbing
came into the gym scene, was the best manager you've ever seen in your life.
Great
Didn't
cunt.
have a clue about fitness. Just like what has to get done today. About it. Crack on, man.
Crack on.
And he
Go
was just
do it.
sitting in
But
the
in terms of,
office,
like, running
just
a
back
gym-
some man coffees, you could get coffees and all that.
Sick.
And then
Running a gym.
And then he
Not
got
very
the,
good.
he got the regional job in Butlins.
Butlins.
Did he?
Aye, man.
Fucking shout out.
smashed
it.
Shout
He was over
out, Andy.
$100K a year laughing, man.
Let's go, man.
Honestly, great cunt.
Great
Absolutely
cunt.
great
Is
He
that
guy.
got married like a couple of years ago.
Great guy.
Has that been shut down, Butlins? That's the thing.
It was Haven, isn't it?
Don't
It's
know.
called Haven.
Is it?
I'm sure.
I don't know if people still go. Do people still go?
Don't know.
Like,
Fuck
I went.
knows.
I went all the time.
I get hit
You
with
were,
a
you were
soup pot in
white
Haven.
trash when I was younger. Did you?
when me and my
Done that, your ma?
pal, we were 15. We went down to Haven and Ayr, and he was a bit of a loose cannon, so he started like arguing with some boys for Bells Hill, right? And there was like 5 or 6 of them, and he ended up hitting one of them with a pool cue, and then we get chucked out. Then I was walking up back to the caravan, and out of nowhere, a guy says, honest to God truth, a guy jumped out a bush at me with a soup pot and hit me with a soup pot. Oh wow. one of the boys for Bells Hill.
Got a hit in the head.
No, in the arm. And so I was like, no, so I went, I was like, ah! It's sore as fuck.
No,
by
would
the
have
way.
been,
I
man.
obviously,
by the way, aye.
I obviously then ran away.
Aye, ran.
But yeah, that's my story with Butlins. Never been back.
Fuck Nell. Well, thanks for sharing that. If you're right,
Aye, so
Yeah.
you're right. Fuck's sake, man.
segue to Butlins, man.
Aye. But I just feel it across the board in every single aspect of our lives, people that are meant to be in charge just do a poor job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the Prime Minister. Even it's going as high as that, right? Because I seen a thing on the news that he's sending $2 billion to Ukraine, right, to help with the war.
Yep.
I feel like that is perhaps not the best choice he could have made with $2 billion, with what's currently happening in the UK.
Yeah.
Am I?
No,
I'm putting that out there. What's reactions to that? That's not to get too political.
So
on that,
he would just remove ourselves of him, right, and just people in general. Why I think people are bad when they're in positions like that, because there's no rule book, right? So like there is a rule book to an extent, but a lot of they need to make decisions on their own, and they're just incapable. So like a lot of people that get to this point of being following rule books, good at tests in school, good at uni, so on paper, but they've got no fucking street smarts. So then all of a sudden they need to start making just decisions. Right, cool, you've got what you got to do with it. There's no rule book for that shit, and they just do shit because they are shit. Do you know what I mean? So they've got loads of book smarts, loads of good at following rules, loads of being that type of person. As soon as it's like left to them, can't make decisions.
good politicians, bad people.
yeah, but are they even good politicians? Because I feel like
They're smart.
so to me, right? To me, war bad.
War bad.
War bad.
We don't want that.
To me, war bad. All wars, all places, stop.
Let's stop them.
Cease.
How very
fire,
Bono of you.
right? So those are my beliefs before we continue any further. So, in my eyes, it doesn't make too much sense to send a country that's in war with another big angry country $2 billion and to help create rockets that are going to be placed and lodged in Northern Ireland. That's
Yeah.
also going to be happening. So to me, that seems like it's enabling war.
They just
You're
want- they
enabling. You're
obviously
like,
want a bit
let's
of it, right?
keep it going. So like, where does that stop? Is there going to be another check when all the rockets are out, finished? It's like, yeah, fuck, we actually need a wee bit more dough. All right, okay, cool. There's that. When like house prices are through the roof, literally. Fucking council tax through the roof. And all the shit gets done all at once, like, and it's not planned properly. It's all done poorly, right? Fuel fucking's expensive. There's fucking nobody's held accountable for how high they could just fucking turn your mortgage interest rates. That's going up because we've decided. You're fucking. We've just
Well, that's
decided.
on it.
See your water, your electricity. That now costs more. Why? Want it to.
No.
Simple.
I wanted to.
Yep,
It's like a toddler
Felt
run.
like
Felt
it.
like it.
Felt like it. The
Aye.
fucking what else? Everything's up. Everything's up. Fuck. Everything is up.
Everything's up. Well,
Everything's up. Let's not fix it. Let's go fund war.
well, it's not even funding, it's investing, right? So they're putting money to that. Do you think they're just giving the $2 billion over?
I was gonna say
that's they're getting $3 billion back. Do you know what I mean?
Are they?
Of course.
But the UK is
That's-
just consistently in debt. I hear that in all countries in like trillions of debt.
What country do you know
How?
is no one debt? Do you know what I mean? I know.
How? I remember being in my 20s getting rejected a credit card, and there's countries in trillions of debt.
New Ukraine are in 2 billion extra debt because it's not. They're not just getting 2 billion. It's not just aid. There's 2 billion.
No, it is. That's what it is. It's foreign aid. The UK gave away 12 billion last year in foreign aid,
and there's no return on that at all.
That's aid. Help. There you go.
So they must then, if there's return on it, then there must be. Maybe it's just to get a finger in the pie, right? It's just to be a part of it.
But then that's even more fried if it's an investment. If it's an investment, that's fucked. Because at the end of the day, it's a war. People like us and the cunts listening to this are dying.
Yeah. But then they'll just look at it as like,
they cease to exist rather than the war. Like, their lives over, ruined, families fucking like gone forever.
Yeah.
Right? Your house gets fucking bombed and raided, right? There's videos, you go on fucking Twitter, there's fucking videos of drones just fucking flying into people. Doof, dead. Like those wee drones. A wee cunt with a fucking DJI in his phone, like that, with a bomb fucking strapped to it. Oh, there's a few guys there. Videos like that on Twitter, right? That is being technically funded.
One of the things that I did see was that they are that the UK or whatever are going to have a base or something on the Ukrainian coast, or so as part of this kind of deal or whatever. So because it's obviously just because, well, what's worse, like Russia getting Ukraine and becoming a larger superpower. So it's obviously that's why they're keen on kind of giving the aid and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I do. There's obviously far more involved geopolitical shit
Than what we know.
And what us numbnuts are talking about, right? But that is why Russia is so big, because it started off small and then they just sent cunts to villages, took them over, and then that's why it's fucking as big as it is, right?
Humongous.
Because it just kept fucking taking things.
Well, this is mad. So you get like Dagestan, people from Dagestan and Kazakhstan, they're Russian.
No, they're not.
Aye, they're
Kazakhstan's its own country.
Maybe Kazakhstan, but Dagestan.
I believe that's its own country.
But the Russians, have some form of like.
There's Russian influence and.
No, I think they have some form of Russian rule. It's like.
I think they're like an autonomous state within Russia.
Yeah, that's how it works. So even though as a country,
Chechnya,
it's
no,
like
Chechnya, yeah, right.
Because like obviously the people in the UFC, right, Dagestans and stuff like that. Some of them will fly Dagestan and Russian flags.
I don't know much about much.
So my point is they just
my flag knowledge isn't that good, but it just from the top down, bird's eye view, and fucking people can chime in the comment section and correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel like that seems mad when my gran's like fucking para about putting the heating on. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Like, I just feel like that's a bit fucking fried. Like, just the cost of absolutely everything. And then you notice it more when you go away. You go abroad, you go to Spain, right? You go to Spain. I'm fucking buying rounds of beers for the boys. There's fucking 11 of us. I give them €40, I get change. That's
2 pints in Edinburgh.
That needs to happen here. That's 2-3 drinks here. We need cheaper pints.
Cheaper pints now.
Right? If I was
make
in charge.
pints great again.
If I was in charge of the UK, first of all, I'd make pints cheap again. Right?
It's like part of the Republic of Russia.
Part of the Republic of Russia. What is that? The Soviet Union? Is that what that is? The former Soviet Union?
Don't have a clue, man.
Whatever. Anyway, fucking
Dagestan, officially the Republic of Dagestan, as the Republic of Russia situated in the north. Eastern Europe.
Kals, whatever it is.
We went hard in on the political shit straight from the get-go. And we're most certainly not a political podcast. But I just found it fascinating that no matter what level everybody's at, that middle management, upper management level, even potentially the people in charge just are not capable. And it fucking fries man up.
We're all silly billies, man.
Silly billies.
The thing is, because a lot of folk that would be better at like leading or whatever don't put themselves forward. I'm not talking about like politically anymore, but see like in gyms and sort. You ever like worked with somebody and been like, he'd be a great manager, but then they never actually put themselves forward? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost like the best people for the job would never do it.
Yeah.
Because they know it's a thankless task.
Yeah, that's the ambition, right?
Yeah.
That's like like us three, for example, probably could have just rode the wave and just became managers in the gyms, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd have been good managers.
Mm-hmm.
But we're fucking sitting here on that podcast. What's happening?
What's happening? You're probably right. I think there's people who are far capable at those jobs, but then decide to not do them because they're like, why the fuck would I do that? You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to be fucking prime minister?
Yeah.
Your whole life under a microscope. You make one, you fucking fart silly. That's you fucked.
Even
for
if you
months.
don't, you're still fucked.
There was a period of time where I seriously considered going for assistant manager in Pure Gym, but then part of their job is you need to teach classes, and I would rather shit myself than teach classes in Pure Gym.
My best job ever was the assistant manager job at Everlast.
I forgot you were an assistant manager at
I was
Everlast.
one of them.
One of them.
Do you know my day was class. Rock up, help open the gym, 5:30. I think did we get to work for 5 or 5:15? I can't remember. Or maybe 5:30 for the gym opening at 6. Rock up, opening procedure. Right, me and Laurie had it down, fucking on lock. Didn't speak. I came in with a McDonald's coffee, straight off. Let the guys come in. Me, office, Laurie, front desk. Me, sit on phone, watch videos. Welcome people in. She needed help. I'd jump out, come back in, get to about 2 o'clock. Right, I'm finished. Oh, in between that, I would train. 2 o'clock, done.
Train on shift.
Of course.
Quite right.
I'm the boss.
You're the boss. You can do
Do
it.
what I want.
And mate, canter. If that job paid more, I'd have done it significantly longer.
Yeah.
The pay was awful. It was less than
I'm
minimum wage, I
actually
think.
surprised that it's still going, Everlast.
Yeah.
It's an alright gym and all that, but it's
Yeah.
just
But
Everlast.
the
you know
same
what I mean?
people go to that, the same people went to Fit for Less when I worked in it.
Yeah, I think it's just
been the
got a
same.
lot of the old heads. But
Yeah.
you'd be surprised the amount of people that do sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when I was there, like people would roll in every day to sign up. Like they really would.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And I think as well, it's one of the last gyms that has like front of house
And a
people.
sunbed.
and a sunbed and a sauna, no? And
Aye,
I mean,
sauna.
actually
It's a
fucking
decent-
pretty-
it's got
Fuck, I
decent
might
stuff
join
in
actually. Nah, it's so. But anyway, that was just my fucking rant about just people just being.
Do you want to go and
incapable.
train?
What? And
Like, what, just go and do a wee session on it?
No,
I've
no,
actually
no.
know a few
Oh,
faces
right,
still.
here's a thing I googled actually just as I opened my phone. Right, see in 2023, 2024. Right, the UK had a lot of money to spend just on all of the things, the NHS, education, whatever you want to think. Take a guess as to how much that was. How much money the UK government had to spend on making the country better.
On all the things.
On all of the things.
I'm going to say 5 billion. Is that
5 billion.
If I went way too high.
Oh, we're getting a consensus.
I'll say 10 bill.
10 billion. They had 1.2 trillion.
What?
What?
1,189 billion.
How much does
Or
it cost to fix a
basically
pothole?
1.2 trillion, right? So like,
Clearly, I know nothing about economics.
so like, here's a lot, 5 billion.
Aye.
Pretty sure like you buy a football club for that much money. The fucking, so it's 1.2 trillion, right? That's what was spent in 2023 and
Fucking
2024
mental, innit? And the full of the UK.
for the UK.
How?
For wit. And this is the thing, nobody in those positions of power are ever held accountable. Like, no, there's zero accountability, right? It's like football managers too, right? I find it mental, right? You're the leader of a this is obviously completely different scales, right? Say you're leader of a football manager, right? You're a football manager, you're leader of a club,
Yep.
right? You do a shite job of that club, of managing that club and taking it to where it needs to go.
Yep.
What happens?
Aye.
Here's a couple of million, or we'll keep paying you until we find someone else. So you could be in a 4-year contract. I'd be like, Evan, you're shite.
Yep.
You're only 2 years in, so you're getting a wage for 2 years for doing a bad job.
A good wage as well.
A very fat wage. Fucking, like, Prime Minister. Fucks the nation. Nation's on its arse. Arsehole on display, right? It's fucked. What do you do? Fuck it, somebody else will do it now. Fuck that,
Just
man.
resigning it.
Aye, fuck, I'll resign. I've resigned, man. I've
Big fat severance package.
Probably.
Speaking gigs.
speaking gigs, turning up to fucking charity hosted events and all that, fucking doing appearances, doing talks, still have fucking security details, still
Bring a book
protected by
out
the
about how I
government.
fucked the country.
Yeah, bring a book
Aye.
out. Like, there's zero accountability. Zero.
Aye.
The football
At
manager
least
just
the
gets
next
another
fucking
job.
Prime Minister should read that book, what not to do.
Yeah, like zero. But then I'm like, How is there not? How is there 1.2 trillion pounds spent on a country and it has got worse? So like if the UK was a business, if the UK government was a business, it would get shut down.
I want to know where the money's went.
Backing up.
Like,
Shall I Google? Shall I chat GPT it?
Where's all the money went, bro?
where's it? No, what's it been spent on?
Right, you
Like,
spent.
surely there must be like an itemised
Right, hold
fucking
on.
something of, well, we spent this much on potholes. Like,
Right.
these were the potholes that we fixed.
Do you want me to go into it?
Do you know another thing? See, they're about to fucking spend this for this budget, but how about you don't and just gate to cunts? How about see how that $1 trillion
money?
that you've got left? Divvy that up, get that sent to people's bank accounts. Do you know,
Right,
like,
this is true.
I'm actually being serious.
He's a
bro.
fucking blown
being
anyway.
serious.
Like,
I'm
aye.
being serious.
We're all fucking skinned, mate. Give us the cash.
I'm being serious. Right, I've got it here, Ev. Do you want me to break it down?
Not the full breakdown, but give us
There's a loose
Give
one,
us a
right?
couple of bars.
Couple of categories, right? Social
That free.
protection, welfare, pensions, benefits, right? Highest spend, 361 billion
right.
on welfare, pensions, and benefits.
Fucking
There's a
hell.
lot of people sitting in their gaffs, choosing not to work, smoking snout, watching telly, refusing to not work. So there has to be incentive to get people to work.
Yep.
Because I think it's staggering. I don't think people realise the amount of people that choose not to work.
What? That
Not
shows you.
down to like illness, disability, like things like that. Like there's people out there. If we just decided not to work,
We could fuck the system.
yeah.
How many people in Glasgow are punting?
Nah,
No, I mean,
that's
I
it,
don't-
right. So anyway, that was a record spending on pensions and universal credit, but still got a cost of living crisis, right? So they spent the
quite
most amount
crazy,
on
like.
it, still a cost of living crisis.
more
Health, NHS, social care, 221 billion. However, the NHS waiting times are still at record highs. A&E delays, staff shortages. Like, for example, I've got family members that are trying to get help through the NHS for things going on. 3 to 5 year wait lists, right? But 221 billion has been spent on it apparently. Education, 112 billion. However, teachers are being struck off.
Yep.
It's the hardest job ever to get right now is
Yep.
to become a teacher, but it's arguably the most important. Fuck. Economic affairs, transport industry, employment, 92 billion. Still unreliable roads, filled with potholes, limited infrastructure.
Trains are never
upgrades.
on.
Trains are fucked. Public services, government admin, debt, 158 billion. Huge waste on bureaucracy. Inefficient debt repayments. Debt interest repayments. 104 billion. 4.9, so 105 billion,
Jesus.
right? Paying for past borrowing. More than education spending. Wow. So we spent more on debt interest than we have on our education.
Just messed up on it. Like you clear the world's debts, right? You're still spending like that's like the number 5, number 6. There's some countries that the biggest thing is debt.
Aye.
That's like number 6 to us.
It's
Even the worst.
It's crazy. Defence, 56 billion. The UK military is still underfunded, struggling to recruit and keep up with global threats. And then public order, police, prisons, courts, 39 billion. Knife crime and antisocial behaviour still at all-time highs.
Oh, for God's sake.
No accountability. No nothing. No nothing. So, aye, that's that.
Just in case if you're listening, know that we're going to solve it no, but we'll just bring it to light, right? We've not got an answer.
I know.
I've
We've
not
not got an answer for it.
is. Just don't worry about it.
Aye, just chill
Just
it.
don't worry about it. But it actually goes to show, right? So I've always believed this, right? And I've only voted once in my entire life, and I actually wish I never, right? Because people are like, you need to vote, right? But I choose to exercise my right not to vote just as much as you choose to exercise your right to vote.
Yep.
Because I believe I've yet to be proven wrong that there's a single case in my lifespan where someone has come into government and actually made a change or made an impact on my life. So you don't deserve my vote. Oh, but you need to vote for the lesser of the evils. They're all
all
why?
evil.
Why?
Yeah.
You need to take meth or you need to take heroin. Pick one of them.
What about
Pick one of
ketamine?
the bad things. Pick one of what's less bad. I'll do a wee bit of meth then. Fine.
Give me
So I'll
both.
be fine. It won't be that bad. Do you know what I mean? Crazy,
social
crazy.
meth.
Social meth.
Social meth with the boys.
Oh well. So that it just that always pisses me off because I don't think that there's anybody that has ever came into some sort of power and been like, right, here's what's happening and made it happen.
I think they need to fucking. I don't want this to turn into a mad political podcast,
Yeah,
right?
it has for the past
but it
40
has
minutes.
but the way that we do politics in the UK, fucked.
Kind of silly.
Kind of silly. It just needs to change. I think I said this before in a previous podcast. We just need to get normal cunts in the positions rather than like toffs from Eton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
imagine
do you know what
that.
I mean?
You just went about, right, who's the best joiner in the UK?
Aye.
Who's the best
Aye.
chemist in
Yeah.
the UK? Just get them in.
Get everybody, the
The
leaders
best
from
at
the,
the best
industries
construction.
in a room,
Best at us.
and then
Just
have
normal
it
folk as well.
normal folk, and then
smart
have
normal
it
folk.
where it's not like a fucking pantomime when they're discussing serious topics that need to be fixed.
Get a,
They're
medi-
chatting
get a,
over each
get
other.
a mediator. A mediator in the room. Oh. Fuck,
Well, there
he's-
is one,
Simmer down.
but he's a fucking cartoon character at the back. Oh, do you know what I mean? That's real life. Our
It's
lives are
fucking
being governed
mad.
by a fucking literal pantomime.
It's
Oh,
fucking
The
mental.
all day mad heckles up your shite.
They're all fucking, they've all got their mad wee fucking gimpy signals and all that. It's fucking crazy.
Worst cunt to a lot of them.
Well, skits a lot of them. Well, we'll be, anyway, MD for the UK or Scottish Government wants help. Please reach out to the No Rep podcast.
We'll sort it for yous.
We will literally steer you in the right direction.
Aye.
And what I mean by that is ask ChatGPT.
Could go a couple of
The
hands.
Google
robots
a
will take
couple of
over
things,
and
yeah.
no one know.
And it's going to be sound. I suppose we should maybe talk a little bit about fitness.
Shit.
What was the thing that you wanted to chat about?
Shit.
Shit.
Here we go again.
What was it, man? I'm too fuck.
The soft.
Oh, aye.
He's too hyped
Actually,
now about politics.
bro. I'm sorry. Just no, I'm joking.
What are we talking about?
So I
Have you
actually,
even asked how we are doing, man? Have you
Aye,
said
we
that?
did this now, we did this now.
Very briefly, but then we
Evan
get.
said he was stressed about the potholes. Next thing you know,
I got
we've
started.
next
Listen.
thing you know, we've fucking solved
Aye.
every issue that the UK has ever seen.
Shouldn't he see a pothole next year?
If Evan was in charge,
All right.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He'd fill them himself.
Do you know,
personally.
see just where this is in my head, right? See, from the last podcast we were doing, which was what, 2 weeks ago, do you know what I saw on the road when I was driving home? A massive dildo
On the road.
on the road.
On the
Well,
road.
driving
On
home for our last
on
podcast.
So like,
I was on the minute
it was
about
like
that.
it was like
I
a
just said that.
roundabout.
Oh, did you?
I did, aye.
I'm sorry,
That'd be
I
fun.
didn't
That'd
hear.
be really good to listen back. Me going, I wonder when I put that in. And then you-
I had no idea you said that. I'm sorry.
So there's like a roundabout, and then
That's
like I
funny.
cut off into an industrial estate and just like fucking stuck to the floor. It was just, it must have been about 10 inches. But yeah, when I'm in charge, there'll be none of that either.
Was it like
on the roads?
the one Alex had and he said?
It was literally like the one Alex had. That is so Coatbridge, man. That is fucking.
This is getting back to what we're talking about. Do you know supposedly like the surface of the roads, paint, batteries, there's a version that was made that is like as soon as it's laid, you never need to relay it. As soon as it's painted, it never needs repainted. Like as soon as you put the light bulb in it, it'll last forever. Supposedly there was always a first version, and then I'm like, but we'll not make money if
Mm-hmm.
we just put it in and we never need to do it again.
I
so
believe
then
that.
they kind of diluted it.
Of course, that's
Supposedly.
that's all of the pharmaceutical industry.
Literally.
Cure.
Try to tell me supposedly we've sent cunts to the moon. We can go to space whenever we want. But you try to tell me we don't have a cure for cancer. Is that what you try to tell me?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how expensive? Do you know how expensive
You
cancer
listen to Big
medication is?
Pharma.
It's very expensive.
Fitness.
We're not pointing any.
Too many here. Listen, we are going to get fucking
Get flagged. This video get took
we are
down.
going to get fucking shut down here. So one of the things that popped into my head was like the soft version of fitness. Right, so soft versions of fitness. So the reason why it's popped into my head, I've seen a couple of TikToks, and actually, shout out Katie and her friends. Start of the year, they started doing 75 medium. Right, so it was their own version of 75 hard. And I actually thought it was. I thought it was.
Evan, why are you
Yeah,
laughing?
why are you laughing, Evan?
I'm so sorry.
But I actually really
It's just the
rate
way you said medium.
medium. No, 75 medium, so it wasn't 75 hard. They weren't training twice a day. One of them has to be outdoors. But they were instilling good habits. There was a group chat made, and then people were all kind of going after it. But I have seen several versions of this soft version of fitness. So like the first thing that came out was like 75 soft,
Yep.
where it was like, I can't even remember. I'll pull it up and go through what that was. But I want to gain y'all's initial thoughts on the softer version of fitness.
I have two chains of thought on it.
Hit me.
Right, one, I think that anyone doing anything like that, like, is a positive thing. I think it's like, well, fucking hats off to you,
Well
man. Like,
done.
Well done, right? The other kind of chain of thought is, see, when you start negotiating on things the way things are meant to be, right? You then start negotiating in other areas of your life. So this is a problem. So like 75 hard, for example, it's not a fitness thing, it's a resiliency thing, right? So when you're picking and choosing what bits you want to do, see, in life, you'll pick and choose what bits you want to do, so then you're really not getting the full benefit from doing it. Do you know what I mean? You're just kind of making it easier, do you know, to kind of suit where you're at, which I also get. But that's just kind of my thoughts on it.
That was a bar that you said there. And I think that if you choose the easy route
Yep.
on most things, that's the habit that you're then fostering. So you're dictating how you feel, or how you feel dictates what you do. Whereas it's the opposite. What you do dictates how you feel.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So like the feelings part, or the second part of it, is the irrelevancy part. That doesn't matter. Everybody has been through that. Anybody that's listening to this has probably worked out in their lives, and everybody that's listening to this has probably not felt good before the workout, not felt good during the workout, but then after, say, I feel better for doing that.
Feel great.
So like it's always on the other side of the choice rather than the front side of it. So I like it because it's a start and it gets people going and it initiates the habits. But I think for long-term things, this is why I'm such a fan of 75 hard. And then like I know at the start of the year, lots of people were trying it, like poking fun at it as well. Like you and Jamie, I believe, made a post like kind of similar sort of trains of thought where 75 hard isn't the answer, which I agree in a lot of terms. Like it's not the answer to a lot of people's problems. It's not the fix. Like people think there's a thing that there's a thing that fixes it.
We all know somebody that's always trying a new diet or trying a new something.
Here is it. So
Yeah.
if it's not 75 hard this week, it's fucking I'm going to do I don't know, keto the next.
My problem with it is that people were doing it from like a kind of weight loss perspective, right? That's not what it's for. So that's not going to be the fix for your problem, because it's designed by nature to be hard, funnily enough, right? And that's not what some people do need that, but that's not what the people that were doing it that I was seeing needed.
Maybe they need 75 soft.
That might be the
Segue, Jordan. What is 75 soft?
75 soft was exercise for 40 minutes per day instead of doing 2 45-minute workouts. But that's not the variation I've seen. I think it was only 3 or 4 times a week. Eat a healthy diet, but with some flexibility. There are no extreme restrictions, but the focus on moderation, making good choices. Drink about 3 litres of water. Read 10 pages. Allow occasional alcohol in moderation. No cheat days. But the approach is more about balance. The idea behind 75 soft is to build discipline and healthy habits without the intense all or nothing mindset of 75 hard, making it more realistic for long-term adherence. I disagree with that. And I think that if someone was in that position where they feel like 75 hard is the more sustainable choice for them, 75 hard is actually the better choice. Because if someone was like that, could never do, they were never that type, that fitnessy, they were never that into it, they were never like a fitness person growing up. It's like, they're like, I want to make a change, I really need to do this, maybe 75 soft's a good idea. 75 hard's actually a better idea, because if you can complete that, in my honest opinion, took me 3 times to get it, right? If you can, I think about me, I love the gym, I live and breathe it, I feed my family with it. It's like the gym is my entire life, and it took me 3 attempts to actually complete it. If you can complete that, you can pretty much complete anything.
I would agree.
So if someone is able to get themselves through that, or also something like a 12-week diet prep sort of thing, photo shoot ready. Like if someone can do that, someone has that level of discipline when it comes to their training, their water intake, their sleep and their nutrition, I think that you can almost complete any other task.
And that segues us into today's sponsor of the podcast, 12 Week Peak by MTS.
Shout out D-Hat.
It's literally...
Well, that's a good point.
It's a good example, though.
That cunt doesn't need any more fucking
No, it
advertisements,
doesn't.
man.
500 sign-ups.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't need any more
No,
fucking help, especially
he's
those
laughing.
fucking clowns. But aye, like if someone can complete that, they can complete anything. So like 75 soft isn't the choice that they need to make. 75 hard is. Like it's a mental transformation program. It's nothing to do with the physical. Like the workouts are almost irrelevant in it. You can go a walk twice. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't actually matter that much. You can do yoga in the house. All the workouts could be very, very low level, low impact, like nothing. And I think that when it's a slippery slope, right? Going the easier route to something. It's always a kind of slippery slope to be like, so I'll patch this or I'll patch that. Oh, you can have a little bit of alcohol. Oh, I had too many drinks last
Just
night.
have a little bit of meth. Like,
Exactly. Like, where does that lead to? And I think that if you don't uphold the highest standards to yourself in your own life, it then just drip feeds into fucking absolutely everything. And the thing is, it's not a year round thing. You don't need to do it all the time. Like, I think everybody in their lifespan should commit to doing something really hard for 100 days in a row. Or 75 days in a row. Like I think that is something that everybody should tick off in order for them to actually, I don't know, get a bit of fucking something about them.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Bit of spunk behind them.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
it's just folk inherently, if that's the right word to use, don't follow through in their word. Do you know what I mean? So see if anything, it trains you to actually do the thing that you said you were going to do. And that's where people struggle. People fucking struggle across the board because they just fucking go back in their own word.
Yeah.
You know? They lie to themselves.
Yeah.
I think it's like, the thing is, we obviously relay things from a fitness perspective because that is your life. So like for us, we're good athletes. Like,
Thanks.
do you know what I mean? Good athletes and all that. So we find like these things, or would find these things a lot easier than maybe most people, right? So it becomes a lot easier for us to maybe go and say like, well, this is the only way, or this, if we don't do this, it'll drip feed into other aspects of our life, blah, blah, blah. But like, as you say, it took you 3 times to get it done, right? Like,
What do you think that eventually... Sorry, on you go.
Yep, thanks. Does it...
Sorry.
Fuck's sake, man.
Sorry.
Can't get a fucking word in.
Sorry.
Can't get a fucking word in this place. No, do you know what? Your turn. Please, you go.
You forgot what you were going to say.
I
Man.
didn't know what I was going to say, man. Anyway, wasn't that important? So basically... No, I didn't even know. But anyway... Aye, man. Don't know.
Your voice went really low. I thought you'd stop. Sorry. I was like, what actually clicked with you for the third time?
Myself, man.
I need a pee as well.
Two things. We started it with a bunch of folk. So there was like 6 of us doing it together.
Did they
And
finish
then-
it?
Nobody did, apart from me.
You
And
did.
then that, I was like, I'm finishing it. Like, I need to prove to everybody else that I can do this. Otherwise, like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who am I? So, like, and then that was another thing too. I was like, I had to be young at the time. I was like, if I can do it, like, try to run a business, got a young baby, like, got all these, like, all the excuses that you don't have. If I can do it with those, like, you know what I mean? Like, get a grip. So that was it was almost like a bit of an ego thing to be like, I need to, it was to kind of prove to myself as well. And I kind of knew, and the thing is too, it wasn't too loose to what I hadn't done before. Like there would be days of my life that are 75 hard. Like a Monday or a Wednesday or like a Thursday. Like I've done all the things that would have been in it. It's like, oh, I fancy reading my book today. Do you know what I mean?
But it's that wee day or that wee Friday night or that wee Saturday night.
Exactly,
You
the
would normally
weekends
have
it wouldn't
that.
happen, the Tuesday it wouldn't happen, like things like that. So like there was days in my life that basically looked like that. Maybe drank a little bit less water, maybe didn't read my book. But so like there was those sorts of things, but that's what made me do it. And it's like there's been several wee stages of that throughout my life that I've done that I've really I felt like almost like
Took you to it.
Took me, leveled me up, and took me to, I felt like a new height, raised my own bar, if you will. And one of the things that you said earlier, Evan, that kind of reminded me of it is when I did that Paul Mort course, the same one that you did. And one of the main things that he said, and I've said this a bunch of times on here before, but it was like, do what you said you would. I think there's an immense power in doing that. Like when you follow through on your word and you do the thing that you said you would do, when you would do it, it feels, it's like a drug. It's like a superpower. Like it's insane how good you feel.
Yep.
Like when you tick the things off your list, when you see that that's complete, you stack those days up. Like, and this is the thing too. People see 75 days, 100 days, next year. Like they see the thing in the future, and it's far too far away. And then the one thing that I always try and think about, right, is like, can you like do it today, just today? Like, can you do those things for one day, and then it becomes a lot more manageable mentally, physically, emotionally, like all of these, it becomes so much more manageable if you're like, right, can I do these things just today? That's it. Don't worry about like fucking the whole list. Don't worry about the full day. Don't just doing it today. And if that moment, like you don't worry about the next day. You wake up the next morning, you have the same conversation with yourself. And then that compounding effect of just going through that day after day is what stacks those incredible wins, incredible results, businesses, bodies you're proud of, results that you're proud of at races, like all of these things.
I think a lot of the problem is like you can get so much like sense of gratification or dopamine from just saying you're going to do the thing.
Yeah.
How much that wee buzz you get, that excitement you get, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, right? And that happens and that hits. People get caught onto that. People will just say it, but I feel like for as long as I can remember me being and me acting a certain ways, I very rarely say I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
Unless I know I'm actually going to commit and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I go about saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Most of the time, if I've said it, it's because I'm going to follow through with it and I'm going to get it done.
I was the opposite of that for a while, and I definitely fell into that trap in like some younger years of like constantly saying those things, because it did give me that feeling as if I'd done it. It constantly gave me that emotion of like, like
mentally masturbate over it.
Yeah, totally. And I fell into that trap for a long, long time. And I feel like even only maybe recently, it's kind of something that I've became conscious of like do rather than say.
I think you're both really good at that, actually, of like following through.
I think so.
I don't realise after I said it.
You've not seen me play golf.
But do you know what I mean? I think you're both very good at ticking off tasks.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what we've been speaking about this whole year, basically.
Pretty much, yep.
It's just like...
Last year? Since last year?
Last year. Ticking the box. Like, it's so... The power in it's insane. And what I find mad is that there's so many parallels and so many different other aspects of life. So, like, I remember being young, one of my first ever rugby coaches always used to talk about the All Blacks. And it's like, they just do the basics well. That's it. Basics well. Pass, tackle, catch. That's it. So that's it. Don't need to worry about these fancy moves. Don't need to worry about this. Don't need to worry about that. Be the best in the world at the basics. You don't need to fancy this. Crossfield kick that. Cut this. Inside pass that. Nah. Catch, pass, tackle. That's it. And then, so the basics, right? Master the basics, become the best. Then, so that's from a sporting aspect, and you take it from any sport, right? Boxing. His jab is so good. Jab. Right, you're watching the best boxers in the world, and then the commentators are creaming over the first punch you learn, aren't they? Oh, incredible jab, stiff jab, like what? MMA leg kick, like one of the first things you learn, a jab or a calf kick or a low leg kick, right? And then the commentators are going off the nut about how good the first thing you learn is. So then, listen to a lot more kind of business stuff. The guy that created 75 Hard, he's like, I just have a list of 5 things I do every day, and that's it. Called the power list. I tick off 5 things. If it takes me an hour to do it, I've got the rest of the day to do fuck all. If it takes me all day to do it, it takes me all day. That's all he does. And I'm like, this guy is worth hundreds of millions of pounds, and you're telling me his business tactic is a fucking 5 thing to-do list. I'm like, what? Do you know what I mean?
It's so simple.
It's painfully simple. It's actually upsetting how simple it is, because you're like, there must be more. There must be something else. There must be something, but there's not.
See,
It's just removing yourself would be. Sorry, I just thought I'd jump in.
I was gonna ask a question.
It's removing yourself from being a busy idiot. I think that's
a good word.
The most important thing. Because you can just be a fucking busy idiot, can't you? And you're like, I need to be doing something all the time, I need to be doing this. And then you're not really getting much done.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, see, with like running, do people think that there's like a silver bullet and they want something really fucking fancy, or like, because obviously so the kind of the basics done well gets them to where they want to be, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people would go into that thinking like, I need something fucking like
Pretty much, aye. Like, I think it is with everything in fitness. There's always the basics that people just don't really want to spend their time fucking doing.
Yeah,
Do you know what
I
I mean?
think especially with like distance running,
Aye.
that's got to be. You have to just spend hours.
You can't
doing the
really-
thing. You can't skip that.
You
That's a
can't.
stage that you just can't.
No.
You simply
you need to
can't
embrace
skip.
it a wee bit.
Is just going through that, and that's what always fried my brain. That's what's fried my brain more recently is like how painfully simple a lot of things are, but just like. What is it? There was a Hermosi thing, and he was like, the word extraordinary is just like extraordinary. So you just do the ordinary things.
That's really good.
Extra.
I like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Fuck, I've not really thought about that word.
Yeah, extraordinary, right? So someone who's extraordinary, an extraordinary athlete, extraordinary business, person, fucking whatever it is, right? Prime Minister. Question mark. Something that is just extra ordinary.
Wow.
They do more of the ordinary things. That could be a lovely takeaway for today's podcast, guys. It's just do
gonna get
more
that.
of the basic
I'm
things.
going to get that fucking tattooed on it.
Yeah, fucking tattooed my chest. Tattooed my chest. Yeah, Evan, and more kind of, I say lighter notes. It's been quite a heavy podcast. How are you feeling about rugby coming up? You got a big game coming up soon.
We do actually. We've got the National Shield semi-final. Fuck.
It's a
Fucking
big old game coming up.
Also,
mate.
thank you for coming watch my games. I appreciate that.
Yeah, he was commenting on how shite it was last week.
It was. We're not going to cover old
not gonna
ground,
talk
but we've got
about
National
that.
Shield
We're not gonna talk about
semi-final.
old news.
29th of March, Haddington away. Very winnable. They
Yeah.
will also be saying the same thing. They'll be saying East Kilbride's an 8th in the
Aye.
league. Very winnable.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm quietly confident. I'm
God, man.
What do you know
forward to it
about Haddington? I feel like I've played Haddington maybe once or twice
now.
before.
We played Haddington. We've actually played them like so. Our
They're
leagues-
almost like the East version
of us.
of yous. Yeah.
So we don't play them usually, but like the season we actually got to the final of the Shield, we played them in pre-season, and then we got drawn against them in the Shield. So we played them twice recently, and they're good team. Good team.
It was pre-season. That's when we played them.
Yeah,
That's what I remember.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's all when you get to this stage of the competition, it's all I can fucking think about, man.
Aye.
Like,
I remember,
Do you know what's funny,
2
right?
years ago.
It's funny about Ev, right? I
A
noticed
lot of things, how long he's got.
need another podcast.
what I noticed, right, about Ev about this time of year is that I see him a little bit more in the gym, not with clients, but doing stuff in the gym. He's got his shoes off a lot more, and he's got a lot more bands out.
Mm-hmm.
He's mobilising them ankles. He's doing
And
his
he grow the
knee
booty.
shit. He's like doing all the wee rehabby bits that he's definitely 100% patched for most of the year. But on the lead up to like big games,
That's
I
what I
see him
missed
there.
him.
He's got his fucking shoes off, tucked in the corner. He's got the massage ball out. He's got the fucking resistance
See, we've
bands
got a
wrapped
big
around the
game.
rig.
I train like a pro athlete.
Yeah.
Train and eat like a pro athlete.
He's there. He's locked.
It's funny, innit?
Locked
You see nicer food stories because he's taking time. He's food, and he's like, yeah, I'm fucking taking care of myself. This chunk of Evan, mate. See if you did that all year round.
Mate, I'd
Oh.
be in the Warriors.
Maybe-
Honestly, man.
Maybe you need something that's more like something that happens every month or every week that's the same as
The kind of
No,
same
you know?
level, innit?
you know what I mean?
I actually think so. I'm making it sound as if he does fuck all the whole reason. It's totally not true. But the
It's
I
kinda-
think-
it's
Anytime he
kinda
defends
true.
himself,
I
he's
think
just
see,
like,
with a sport like rugby, I feel like there has to be a strong level of downtime. Because
Yeah.
I've fallen into the trap of like you try and train really, really hard through the season, through a long season. It's not sustainable. It's like, running halves, 10Ks, ultras every other week at max intensity. Like if you could do that for 4 to 6 months, and then you would need like 18 months off to like just be like do nothing for a bit. I think when you're doing a really, really physical sport like that, week in, week out, the downtime is just as important as like the uptime.
Oh, you're not
I'm feeling
recovering,
it.
right? You're not
Feeling
recovering.
it now. Like, see, the thing is as well, that our like footballers and stuff will maybe play like 36 games in a season. A rugby season's 20. Like, just because of the maybe 21, 22, like up or down, depending on
Before
how far you get.
international games and all that, and fucking pre-season games, cup
Yeah.
games. Like, I actually
It's a
think
lot, man. It's a physical toll.
it is. It's a lot of fucking. It's a lot of rugby. See with these rugby players, right? They're playing week in, week out for their club, right? They're saying international things throughout their season. They then have summer tours.
It's a lot, man.
You're fucking good enough.
And
You
a
can
game's a game, right?
select a gamer. 110 kilo man hitting you is 110 kilo man hitting you. Doesn't it matter? Like,
Well, it's fucking.
you know what
It's
I mean?
a lot. I know what you
It's a
mean.
lot.
It's
And at the end
hefty,
of the day, it's like, yeah, they're playing for their club, but we need to remember that is a professional athlete that is running at you. It's large. In fact, you know what I seen on Instagram? You know how like this total side tangent, you know how like the power slap shit?
Yeah.
So power slap, we spoke about that before. There's a run it straight
Oh,
thing.
mate.
Have you seen it?
Fuck yes.
How good
I
is
think
it?
I've seen this.
So it's like.
Do you know what I mean by I say run it straight?
No?
So me and Ev, 5 meter channel, 15 meters long. He's
Running,
got a ball, runs it straight.
You
at
run
me.
as hard as you
You
can.
run as hard as you can, and
Can't
your
move out the way.
you can't like try sidestep him. His objective's to run through me, and my objective's to melt him.
Oh.
And it's just that, and it's these fucking. How good is it?
Mate, it's the big Polynesian lads as well. Like big, like Samoans, Tongans.
Like
The
picture,
noise that they make when they hit each other is frightening.
but it's organized like power slap style. So
you
like
have
they'll-
winners and-
yeah, they'll
Ah,
fucking
yeah.
be standing either side. They'll be getting themselves psyched up, and then they'll have
do
a
they
crack-
get a shot each
They'll have
then?
a pop each, so they'll maybe flip a coin to be like, right, Evan runs first with the ball. So it's like, right, okay, fucking, they're warming up, and then it's just like, go, and these guys are fucking running like this.
Oh, it's
Boom.
wild. Is that a rhino?
The collisions are insane. Guys are getting sat in their ass, and then they just fucking wee bit of water, CTE up
Through
here
the
through the roof.
Fucking hell, man.
But it's so much more satisfying and enjoyable to watch than power slap.
Yeah.
Because like that is also a thing that could be Americanized. Because people American football, like
Yeah,
they
big
they
hits.
actually do that shit.
Yeah, they
Oh,
love it.
gridiron stuff. They do a lot of that head on head fucking doof. Like so this could become a sport. And I was a fucking huge fan of it.
I take it it's fucking started Australia and that, New Zealand.
It
Did they?
looked
It must be.
We
Aye,
must
it
have seen
must
the
be.
same. We must have seen the same video.
Same algorithm.
Aye, they just start with like the bird at the start, and she's like this. And she's like looking,
can't
she's like,
remember.
oh, the guys, and I'm like, what's this? And then it's this fucking big cunt,
Jacked.
fucking like Polynesian tattoo up to there, and he's
But,
fucking.
but he talks like this. He's like Hebrew.
He's like, tell me when, tell me when. Aye, the fuck. Obviously, when my tongue's out. You see that video? No. You not seen that video?
No.
So it's the guy standing, he's like,
Yeah,
Oh, fuck that.
I was like, take the picture. When? Obviously, when my tongue's out. One of my favourite, we'll finish on this. One of my favourite, unless you want to talk about more, one of my favourite New Zealand videos in existence. I think it's an old Vine. And it's like, oh,
Is it the
what
piss
is
in
it?
the bottle one?
No, it's look at you fat bitch. You grape looking slut, look at you. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I'm gonna
We need to
find
find it for the podcast.
good accent though.
I know.
What was it?
That was
Good
more
accent.
Aussie.
Oh, do you think so?
That was good though.
I've seen the one of the guys like, I just piss in the bottle, mate.
You piss in the fucking bottle, mate. And he just took Mandy or something like that. We just piss in the bottle. I mean, that's a throwback. That.
If I find, oh.
You hippie.
Oh.
Shut up, you fucking idiot. Shut up, you grape-looking slut. Look at you fat bitch. You hippies.
What did she say back there, Bill?
Shut up, you grape-looking slut. Look you, you fat bitch.
Kiss my ass,
Kiss my ass, motherfucker. Yeah. You never seen that video?
Never.
That was doing the rounds back in the day.
You great looking slut.
Yeah, look at you, you fat bitch.
And we will.
Yeah, that fun?
And on that note,
That was episode something of the No Reddit podcast.
Yeah.
Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
shit.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah. See you in the next one.
Yep. Goodbye.
Catches.